It's a good evening and warm welcome. Oh, I think we've got a problem here, guys.
You've got an evil double game, too, yeah.
It's Halloween. Double going on here. Why don't you just get rid of one person already?
Lady's idea. How?
Did someone get shot at them ugly twins?
Oh,
This evil twin,
mate.
Sarah's worst nightmare come true.
Well, mate, it was Halloween. It was Halloween. That was the stump, mate.
And I was John.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah, good evening and warm welcome to the North Bank Summit. Halloween has gone, but obviously it's just come back for 10 seconds there. But obviously I've got four gorgeous guys here, which is including myself. So we'll do our hellos first. First we'll go to Andy. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, really good, thank you. And hello, everybody. Yeah, missed last week. I missed the show last week, but I was away in Madrid. But raring to get going again tonight.
Oh, you're boasting about it, ain't you? You're boasting about it.
yeah. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, to be honest.
Good man. How long was you out there for?
We went for 4 nights. So we just spent all the time just literally walking around the city because it's so beautiful. And we had a great time.
Good stuff, mate. I see you in the old Bernabeu where the old dreams occurred last season. Yeah,
we ticked that Bernabeu box and walked around in our Arsenal tops, which was magic. So, but yeah, it's a bit special, that place, mind. It's unbelievable, that stadium. Yeah, it has to be said. Incredible.
Yeah, you looked it by the pictures, mate. You definitely looked it.
Yeah.
And good evening to David. He's come back again for a second dosing, so we must have done something right. Good evening, mate.
Yeah, no, it's good to be on the show. Always good. And I had a couple of days in Amsterdam myself last week. I think all the goons were slipping away for a little bit. So, I went over for a gig, and it was a lot of fun. So, but it's good to be back in England and following this mighty team again.
Were you gigging? Or watching somebody?
No, I was watching. I'm not yet in the Queens of the Stone Age. Do you know what I mean?
You look like you are.
Yeah, I wish I was.
Good stuff, mate. Good stuff. And a good evening to our own Johnny Brooks. Just eating a refresh bar, I take it.
Yeah, and I've got to keep up this physique. So,
You're trying to catch me up.
I spent a lot of money on this. Yeah, all good. Another stress-free weekend. It's lovely at the top. So, yeah, all good.
Yeah, definitely lovely. Before we go into the show, we'll do some good evenings. Good evening to Luke Barwick, the gunner, old Lukey. Hey, boy, how you doing, mate? Good evening to Margaret. It's good to see you on again, Margaret. Good evening to Andrew. He's on the show. Good evening, mate. Who else we got on at the moment? Scroll down.
Evening, all.
Evening.
Good evening to Melina. Good to see you on, Melina. Well, as always, nice to see you jumping on. Good evening to Mr. Podcast himself, asking me why there's 2 Liams. Absolute no comment. Actually, Liam has decided himself to go out in the cold tonight. I'm actually got looking after the boys tonight, so I've got the baby monitor. So if anything happens, John, and I have to run off, you're hosting the show.
Yeah, mate. No worries, cupcake.
Good evening to Anthony. Good to see you on, mate, as always. Good evening to Jonesy, who stood in for Andy last week. Good evening, mate.
Evening,
and
Jonesy.
Good evening to Peachy as well. So we'll go into the show and obviously look back at the Burnley game on Saturday. I'm going to go with you first, David, as you're our special guest. Obviously, really no surprises in the lineup, was there? Pretty much the same as usual. That's obviously got us into this winning streak.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the performance was. I was hoping for 4 goals. I was being a bit confident on Saturday. I thought we'd really, put on a performance. And yeah, if we'd carried on with the speed and with the direct approach in the first 45, I think we'd have easily, some amazing saves by the Burnley keeper. It was a shame that Gyokeres has gone off. Obviously, we've learned now that there was a reason behind that. There was lots of rumours flying around. There's scans coming and things, but I'm sure we'll talk about that more in detail. I thought Rice was absolutely immense on Saturday. I mean, I just thought he was the key. He's just the power. He's the power and the direction in that team now. And Trossard was again outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And it was another ray of work from home day, wasn't it? I mean, he didn't have a shot on target again to deal with. I mean, what we're gonna, it's I know there's the confidence within all the supporters and there's confidence in the team, but to just look at stats, you have to look at stats. You have to try and level your head by looking at what's going on here. And there is something really special. And Saturday was a classic example. You know, we got a set piece, bang, and then on we go and on we go. We could have got 3, 4, 5, whatever. I'm hoping something very similar on Saturday, but I think it's going to be a different game against Sunderland. It'll be a harder, it'll be more partisan crowd. But, you know, Burnley's not an easy place to go to. And in the past, we've slipped up on these places.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know. So I was really pleased with the result on Saturday, and you know, and I think it's coming together. It's coming together. As we said briefly before, you know, you go back to the Newcastle game, we're 1-0 down away from home, we win that 2-1, and then our season literally began that day. And I think away form is something that's very exciting about Arsenal at the moment, because we really can turn it on away from home. And that's when you win things. That's the important thing. You've got to get your away form right. Yeah.
It's quite interesting you say that, David. We turn it on away from home. Like, I feel more comfortable at times when we're away from home.
Yeah.
And I feel that actually we seem to be able to not just control the ball really well away from home, but there seems to be a better threat from us away from home. And I feel, even though it was Gyokeres' first goal on Saturday, like I felt the Newcastle game in the first half was a bit of an eye-opener, because I thought he had a superb first half at Newcastle. But he was levels above, weren't he, Saturday for that first 45 minutes?
It probably his best 45. I mean, you know, without a doubt. I mean, you know, and he's really, you know, if you go to the away games and you go to the home games and you don't watch it on TV, and we're very privileged that some of us get to do that, you get to see him all the time. And I watch him. Well, I sit in the front row. I can keep my eyes on him. He does not stop running. He's working continually. He's closing people down. He's harassing the goalkeeper. He's like a Rottweiler. This thing is like he's like a caged animal. He's just tearing at them. And it's something that's really, we have missed. We haven't had players like that for a long time that do that sort of hard graft up there. And he's getting fitter, he's getting stronger, he's getting into it. You know, the media tore him apart, saying, you know, he's not performing and he's a bully and he's not going to score. Well, you know, then Isak goes to Liverpool and everyone's saying, "Oh, give him time. You know, he's going to another team and whatever." He's played in the Premier League for years, right? Gyokeres has come in and he's turning it on, and I'm hoping that it's not serious. I'm praying it's not serious, and we see him back after the international break against Spurs. But let's see what happens.
Just going to go over to you, Andy, on that. Obviously, you've been a big, Gyokeres advocate since we kind of signed him. It's a bit worrying, isn't it, in terms of the injury? As we said, like, I feel we can afford to potentially lose him at Sunderland, but I don't feel going into that run of fixtures after the international break is actually crucial that he's fit, because when you look at the games after the international break, we got Tottenham at the Emirates, followed by Bayern Munich, followed by Chelsea, quickly followed by Brentford and Aston Villa. That's a tough 5 games there, isn't it?
Yeah, without doubt. And echo David's comments there that we're all hoping and praying that this injury isn't too bad, because his role within our side is already massive. The work that he does for us, a lot of it goes unseen. The way that he can stretch defenders, the way he bullies, he'll fight for balls, he'll run for lost causes. He's one of them players that if you're playing against him, he's horrible to play against. He's a pest, but in the best sense of the word from our perspective. Liam, is your gaff blowing over there, by the way?
Yeah, it's probably blowing over. That's one thing gone already.
Oh, someone just chucked the towel at you.
The parrots are still sit up there. No, they ain't gone.
They ain't going nowhere.
No, but going back to Gyokeres, no, he's already massive for us, and we can get by with, you know, rotating the squad around, but yeah, coming back from the international break is going to be pretty colossal, to be honest. So the more we get back, you know, the better we're equipped to go and deal with that massive influx of games that's coming in, and as ever, I mean, it doesn't matter who's on that the fixture list. Every single game is massive now. You know, you can look at, you know, when a City come in, when Liverpool come in, but the ones that we always slip with are the lesser ones, or we have from time to time. So we need him back. We need him back, and we are a much better team with him in it. And it's surprising how I think he's pleasantly surprised our supporters in a really positive way because of his other attributes that maybe people haven't seen before. And he's one of those in the changing room. If you're playing with him, you'd absolutely love it.
No, I totally agree. And the other thing, Andy, that I noticed throughout that game was his relationship in the first half with Bukayo Saka. I thought that actually, I know Saka didn't score, but Gyokeres literally put 2 on a plate for him, didn't he, in that first half? And I thought that was really promising as well because obviously Saka hasn't been around that much at the start of the season. Now he's back fit, getting gains. But I felt for the first time on Saturday there was that relationship growing there between Gyokeres and Saka.
Yeah, without doubt. Some of his little slip passes that he's been playing in the last few games are actually really surprised me, to be honest, because I mean I knew he was a good all-round player, but having that in his locker as well is a massive tool for us. And just going back to the Declan Rice goal on Saturday, Gyokeres' pinged pass, if that was Lionel Messi, they'd be showing it over and over again. That was outstanding. Straight into Trossard's path, whipped across, 2-0, game's done and dusted. So that, and again, another aspect to Gyokeres that perhaps we're going to miss, but he must be loving it as well, Gyokeres, because he'll have never played in the team with as many good players. So that brings your game on as well, and I think that's what's happening with Gyokeres. Yeah,
definitely. Before I go over to John, I'm just going to say some more good evenings. Good evenings, G. Good to see you on. Good evenings, Gav. He's got a message, Liam and Brooksy.
Oh, Gav, yeah.
That Arsenal are actually going to win the league this season. We're not
mind games. I know what you're doing, Gav.
We're not having them mind games, mate. We're not having them just yet. Do you know what I mean? I ain't having.
It's only November.
He's saying, I just can't see anyone scoring against your defence. Is the best in Europe.
Wait and see.
And just go on that, John. Obviously, last goal we actually conceded was against Newcastle at St James's Park. I believe not shot on target again on Saturday. They hit the post in the last minute. Apart from that, Burnley didn't offer us anything. All right, that defence is just absolutely shut down, isn't it? It's shut down. You just are not going to get through it. And even if you do get through it, you've got David Raya to beat at the end of it. Like, is this the best defensive unit you've seen Arsenal have? Obviously, since the Tony Adam days, like we always talk about that famous back four and how good they were. But I've got a feeling this back four could exceed that.
Yeah, the way they're going, I mean, they're the complete modern day back four / back five, if you will. I mean, the fullbacks have got it all. They're so muscular, lean, sexy, get forward, energetic, defend like anything. Just the two centre halves are just solid, they're brilliant. They're just machines, aren't they? They're just a complete, well-oiled machine, like a beautiful Ferrari. They're just so good. I mean, Raya must be fucking bored. I mean, get him a deck chair and a newspaper, just let him sit down and rest. I mean, but even before that, you got the back five, you got the two in the front. Everyone, even Gyokeres, everyone just works so hard, and it's a whole team as well, attacking and defending. The whole team ethic is just absolutely sensational. It's just they get as much joy of not conceding as they do scoring. They've got the proper mindset now. We're not going to let you score. I mean, for God's sake, we won't even let anyone have a shot on target. It's absolutely mental. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. The last 3 or 4 Premier League games, I think we've had 1 shot on target, and that was from Palace and Ketia. That was hardly even a shot. I mean, that touched his head slightly, and they're saying that's a shot. No one else can do anything. It's absolutely incredible. It really is. I mean, you don't think they're going to carry on, but it's just sensational. Liam, you're going to take off in a minute.
I feel like I'm going to take off, mate, very soon. I'm going to brave it out, though, mate. I'm going to brave it out.
Down the hatches, mate.
Liam, I actually think, I don't know whether that's wind or whether you're haunted. Is that Eze top?
It's wind.
Just going on
there.
Halloween. I'm going to go back over to you, David, on that defence. I want to talk about.
Well, if you cast your minds back to the amazing Invincible back four, when we used to go home and away to certain places, it would be like we were already one up as they would come onto the pitch, wouldn't it? It would be like, I remember in particular there was a Blackburn game, and you could just see the opposing side just drop off. Just, you know, when they look at Seaman and Keown, Tony Adams and whatever, and it's like that. The aurora now these players have got. Saliba and Gabriel have to be the best partnership centre backs in Europe at the moment. There's a reason why everybody's banging on the door, interested in them. You know, they've been through. And let's get it straight, right? It's not just those two at the front door. It's the two guys at the back door. You got Mascara and old Hiccup coming on. You know, I mean, these boys are solid. I mean, they look absolutely. They could be. They're amazing. I mean, what unbelievable buys of depth. And then you've got Timber, Calafiori, Ben White. Good old Skelly. You know, I mean, on Saturday, Calafiori's runs were unbelievable. I saw a stat something about he's had the second most shots after Gyokeres. It's unbelievable. I mean, the guy is he's an absolute monster. He's amazing. I love him. And I think he's brought some characters. He's brought a real character into that defense, which it needed. But then you've got Saliba as well, and Gabriel, and you know, and I love the other thing about this week is that, you know, when they were up at Burnley, Gabriel and Saliba were chatting in French to each other in the set pieces, because they look around, they think, well, there's no one here who can speak French, and they just start chatting because Gabriel can speak French now. And I think it's brilliant. I mean, literally we are doing the dark arts with everything, you know. We've got hand signals. We're speaking in different languages. They check who's around, right? Let's have a bit of it. I mean, it's unbelievable. That defence, if it carries on, I think it will beat the Chelsea record. And I think this season, and I think we'll be looking at as being possibly the best defence we've ever had, depending on what we get at the other end. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, fair play to them. Absolutely. They are the rock that we are built on, without a doubt.
Yeah, I totally agree. I've got to go back to Retronic Gamer. You must be pulling my leg, mate. That's all I'm saying. I've got a genuine question. I like that we're top of the league, but Keating Party, we won't address that, the elephant in the room regarding that. And
you might have had a few whiskies.
Yeah, I don't like so many. I think we waste our money and could get better. You must be pulling my leg. Yeah,
you must be on one.
I think Mendy's obviously settled in really well. And just go back quickly in terms of obviously what you're saying, David, in terms of that back four and in terms of the replacements that we got as well. Like, you look at Hincapi, and like, I know we've only seen selected amount of game time due to his injuries at the moment, but even what I've seen, like, I sit there and think, actually, do you know what I mean? Like, Calafiori is sensational, but these defenders now can't afford to get injured, because actually if they do get injured and someone like Hincapi comes in, they could find themselves back on that bench, couldn't they?
Well, that's the point. That is the Trossard Martinelli, development, isn't it? That's the dilemma of what they had. You know, Trossard was leaving in the summer. He signed a contract we weren't all expecting, and then suddenly he came in. Martinelli started putting it on. Trossard just went, "I've got to improve my game. I won't get on that pitch." And now they're all fighting for each other, and that's what you want. You want competition within the team, but total friendship and team and respect. That if I get an injury, I'm out for a week. You drop in, and then I'll get a chance. I'll come back in. You pull out. You know, whatever. And Arteta's doing that. I mean, he's shown already that he's quite happy to play around a little bit, have a core team. We know at the moment what our best 11 is. We've seen it over the last few games, but that will change now. Because Gyokeres is out, this will change. There will be another development, and Arteta's the man that will get the tactics right. And, you know, but again, whatever the tactics are, we will still have an incredibly solid back 5-6 players, without a doubt.
Yeah, definitely. Just want to say to everyone in the chat, if you've got any questions that you want answering, or you got any questions about absolutely anything, chuck it into the group, and our guys will answer them for you within reason. That is, of course, any stupidity will not be even discussed. Mr. Podcast saying Subier has been class. Our midfield is much better with him. Huge upgrade on that other player that I won't mention. So I just want to go to you, Andy, on Subimendi, because obviously another player that went off injured after 70 minutes. I did actually think at the time, right, was it a tactical substitution? Because obviously Subimendi suspended on Tuesday. And I did wonder whether it was to give Nordgaard 20 minutes just to make sure that he's fine-tuning him. I've still got a little sense of feeling that might be the case with him. What was your thoughts firstly on Subimendi's performance? And where do you rank him at the moment in terms of his performances at the start of this season in terms of what we're seeing across the league?
Oh well, I love him. I've made no secret in the past, Liam, that I love Thomas Partey as well. I thought he was a top quality player, but Zubimendi came in, and again, a lot of the stuff I think he does goes a bit unnoticed as well. But his ability to control games and control the pace of the game. He knows when to move the ball quick. He knows when to take two touch. He knows sometimes when to slow it down. And he's always there to kind of nick possession. You know, he's never going to be a really hard, solid tackler, but he'll go nick into situations, and he reads the game so well. And he's surprisingly good in the air. I think that surprised a few people as well. So his all-round game for us, and it's only going to get better. You know, the more he plays with these players, it's a brand new league, and he's almost taken to it like a duck to water, to be honest, which I think speaks volumes of his quality, to be honest. No, he's a special player. We'll miss him on Tuesday, but it's a nice little rest for him. Hopefully get him back for the weekend, fingers crossed. But and my hope is that we do play Norgard. I think there's a really good player there. He loves playing for Arsenal. You know, you can see it in everything that he does. And I think he's the more he plays for us, the more we'll see what a quality player he is as well. So, yeah, fingers crossed he'll get the nod for tomorrow night.
Yeah, and just going to go to you, John. I know how much you like talking about sexiness and all that kind of stuff. A midfield of Zubimendi and Declan Rice. Does that tickle your fancy?
It gets me very aroused. I mean, superb. I mean, we've got the best keeper, we've got the best defence, we've got the best midfield, we've got the best winger.
Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Sexiest fans. Yeah, I mean, Zubimendi's been superb at Declan Rice. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, wow. I mean, £105 million a bargain. It's just ridiculous how good he is, and he's just getting better and better and better. He's loving playing for Arsenal. That run, the header, this all-round game. He's just so good. Honestly, he's so good. I mean, we're so lucky to have him. And yeah, I mean, it's a shame about Gyokeres getting injured, but Rice is the one as well. We can't afford to let him get injured ever, because he, at the moment, he's just top draw. You know, he's just, we've got so many players playing so well at the moment. It's just, but yeah, I mean, Zubimendi's obviously going to have a rest tomorrow. Norgard will come in. I thought Norgard did very well when he came on. Obviously, he almost scored. Again, he's a decent player, you know, international, you know, Premier League proven. He was captain at Brentford. And, you know, he's certainly no mug, and a lot of people make faces, but yeah, he's decent. That's the reason why we signed him. Again, to play in these games and people get suspended or knocks. A very sensible and very cheap bit of business as well. So all part of the squad. And like I said, he's going to get lots of games and minutes. And that's what we're going to need when we're getting all these little knocks and niggles. We've got such a good squad, you know. So, yeah, especially now we're going to have to use it with all the injuries that do seem to be coming up. We're ready. We're all right. And we've still got a lot of players to come back.
Well, yeah, that's the key piece, isn't it? We've got a lot of players to come back. When you think of a Kai Havertz, I'm quite interested, David, what your kind of thoughts on it. But I'm thinking in some games, I can see Kai Havertz being put into that kind of attacking midfield role, with him being asked to push right up alongside Gyokeres at times. That's a total different option that we've got in our armory, haven't we? Like, moving forwards.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it seems that Havertz is ready to come back from what he's. Arteta's just putting the brakes on him at the moment. He's working incredibly hard to get back into the team. And when he comes back, it will, you know, maybe he might have to play. Maybe Gyokeres, you know, let's think Gyokeres is out for a little while. As Andy was saying, we've got a very interesting 5 fixtures when we come back from international breaks. The pressure's on. To have the luxury of putting them two together, that will be amazing to see. That will be just something like explosive, like absolutely explosive. And if we could put the two of them together, like against Bayern or something like that, would make a difference, you know? And that's the ability. You know, we've got Madueke, we're not even talking about Odegaard, for God's sake.
No.
You know? We've got all these people that are all coming back in. And obviously Martinelli is injured at the moment. And, you know, so we've lost a lot of players. Don't get me wrong. Thank God we invested, right? If we hadn't invested like we have with the quality we've invested, there is no way we'd be sitting here 6 points ahead. It would not be happening, right? So we need to get the guys back, sort out what's been going on, get the tactics right, go and get 3 points on Saturday, international break, and then prepare for that next leg running up to Christmas, you know? And Arteta's, he knows, I've got a diary. Arteta's probably got something every half an hour he knows what he's doing. With every single player, everything over the next 2 weeks, going after international breaks, reviewing them all, getting feedback from doctors, from physios, of knowing who's coming back and who we're going to train with. I mean, this is a military operation, guys. This is unbelievable. And Arteta is he's complete control freak, and we know he is, and he'll have it right. He'll have it right. So I'm very excited about the other players coming back, and I'm very excited about Gyokeres and Havertz together. I mean, that would just be a dream, an absolute dream. It's like who's gonna miss out? That's the other question you got then.
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? When you look at that bench here, right, you actually sit there and think, Havertz comes back, Jesus comes back, Madueke comes back, Odegaard comes back. Do you know what I mean? You're then looking at that bench and thinking, whoa, like, who's not actually getting on that bench?
So can I just interact with one thing? I don't know if you saw this on X today, but Max Darwin was officially brought into the Arsenal squad today. He went through at the training ground. They gave him the slaps. He had to do the tunnel of slaps. They all had a go at him, and he has now stepped up, which I think is very interesting when you know it's not been official. There's no been statement or anything. But when you see footage of that, you know that he's being readied to come in. And obviously, with these injuries and whatever, we might see a little bit more of Max in the next few.
So does that mean he's not available for the under-19s now, or could he still do that as well?
I think you're going to find that he's going to be from that footage. It's like you're in the squad now. You know,
lovely,
I mean?
yeah.
And he's training
well play tomorrow.
And he obviously exactly. This is what I'm saying. So I think you will see him now, because obviously these players aren't just going to suddenly come back in. They're not going to suddenly, they're going to have to be eased back in a little bit. So Max is going to get a little bit more.
Madness. He's 15. That's unbelievable. He was very good against Brighton last week as well. But 15, I mean, wow, it's just incredible, honestly.
Yeah. Chris, New Year's Eve this year, he'll be 16 years old. We'll all be out down the pub, and he'll still be in bed by 10.
He'll be in the World Cup squad next year. Imagine that. Could be.
Yeah.
Try that out, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. He will be.
Yeah. That's madness. Fifth. Oh, my, wow.
Yeah.
What a boy. Go on, son. Go on.
Right, quick round robin, guys. Got to do this quite quickly. So the first goal you can think of. I'll start if you want me to. What's your most favourite goal scored by an Arsenal player? For Margaret, sorry if this has been asked recently. I'm still new to this legendary Arsenal community. I'm going to go Robert Perez versus Aston Villa at Villa Park. Favourite ever goal. That was absolutely incredible.
I think it's really difficult for me to not say anything other than Michael Thomas in 1989.
Great answer.
I'll go. I can see it now. I can see the rain. It's Dennis Bergkamp spinning out after banging one in against Spurs. Wenger's first derby. Ian Wright took it to the corner flag, wasting time, flicked it back in. He went in, got down on his knees, and span right in front of us on the North Bank. That was it. Game over.
Incredible goal. Johnny Brooks.
Brilliant. I'll go Bobby Perez away at Liverpool 2-1 in the Invincible season. Yellow shirt, curled in, lovely jubbly. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I was there. Great game.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Great goal.
What a player he was, Bobby Perez.
Beautiful.
Anyway, thank you very much, Margaret, for that question. We'll move on. I'll go back to Andy on this one. Leandro Trossard. I've got to be honest with you, I thought he was superb on Saturday. And let's be honest, and I'll be the first person to hold my hands up. This is a player that I didn't foresee starting 6 or 7 games in a row in the Premier League this season. He's doing a job for the team first and foremost, isn't he? But he's actually built a really good relationship with Calafiori down that left-hand side. And yet again, I'm going to say that I thought that was his best performance on Saturday.
Yeah, it was superb. And I think what this does now, though, is this gives us so many more options than just relying on the right hand side all the time. So now teams, when they pitch up against us, have got to think differently about their defensive systems. Whereas before they would shift us to Martinelli's side or Trossard's side because it was like slightly weaker, I suppose. That can't happen anymore now. So we've got that added bonus of being able to go down both wings. And Trossard surprised everybody. Let's be honest. I said on quite a few shows ago that I thought that him and Martinelli were come on as substitute, explosive players at best. Yeah, he's proved us wrong, but I think that goes back to this squad, the quality of the squad. And if your game just drops by a little smidgen, there's someone right there ready to walk into your place. So I think that's really given an added focus, I think. But that's not just him, that's everybody as well. The levels are just through the roof at the moment. So, and Trossard is a massive part of that.
Just hearing Granit Xhaka's hit a wonder goal.
No, it's taking a deflection, Liam.
Deflected into the top.
Yeah, it made it look better than it was.
They did it.
That's right. I'd rather him score now than Saturday. So.
Exactly. At least he's got it out of the way now.
Yeah, it's just him now. Yeah.
I think Granit owes us a red card on Saturday. Definitely.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
What's your kind of thoughts, John, on Trossard at the moment? Like as I said, I thought Saturday he was really good. I think ever since he's got that goal at Fulham, I feel like he's getting his confidence back.
Yeah, again, I'll be hands up. We all eat a bit of humble pie. I mean, a lot of people were moaning about Martinelli. He's done well, and the same with Trossard. I mean, but on this show, either last week or the week before, I was moaning about his crossing, and he's put in a lovely ball on Saturday, and obviously scored. Yeah, no, I mean, in the Palace game, especially in the second half, he was excellent. He's so skillful, so good on the ball. He's got a great low centre of gravity. He's always been very excellent with that. But I think it's all-round game. Again, he's working so hard. And Arteta clearly loves him because the amount of games he's started. And the players obviously enjoy playing with him. And like I said, he's got, off the top of my head, I don't know, but goals and assists this season, he's coming up with the numbers. So fair play. That's what we want. We've always said, we'll back the players. We've all said they're inconsistent, but finally we're seeing, consistency. And yeah, he's contributed massively.
What's your thoughts, David? Are you a fan of Trossard?
Yeah, as I just said earlier, I think that he's just come on unbelievably this season. I mean, we all knew there was a great player, and there were moments where he got us out of jail over the last couple of seasons, and he came on as a sub, and he would always, very lucky bang one in for us. And there was doubts about him leaving, and I really thought. I mean, I'm like many people thought he had done what he could do with us, and he was going to leave in the summer. And there were offers coming in, and then he went and signed that contract. And even then, I was thinking, oh my God, why is he signed? What are we going to do? Is it because we're putting value in him because we might want to sell him in January or something like that? And he might just sit there for a bit, or you never know what's happening in football. And then suddenly he just exploded this season, and he has been Mr. Reliable. He really has been, and we need him at the moment, and we're going to need him. We're going to need him for these next 5 games. After the international break, we need him to stay fit, be on form, while the other players are coming back, and then he can have another. This is the point, he can play. We can bring some players back, and he can have a bit of a rest. Yeah, like we don't need them all at the same. If you go back to years ago, we used to win leagues with 20 players, 18 players, 16 players, and that was it. We need the whole squad now to win, to go on and win things without a doubt, and they're all going to have a part. Which is, and Trossard is just another part of that team. And at the moment, we're picking him out because, rightly so, he's been amazing. His runs on Saturday, they were great, and especially for the second goal, the working of that, was just absolutely.
Are you on the belief? I've just obviously seen the question here from who is it from? Sorry guys, it's from Luke. Would you play Downman tomorrow night?
Yes.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I would. Why not?
Yeah.
Great game of playing, yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
We'll go into that Slavia game Slavic game in a minute. Just about Andrew Mayer saying with Trossard, Noni, and Nelly all amongst them having been written off by parts of the fan base, it's impressive how our players keep shifting opinion in the right direction. And to be fair, actually, all three of them players this year have had positive seasons. I think Martinelli, if I'm being totally honest with you, David, is one player that actually starting to get back into the goals, assists. You know what I mean? Like, I felt he lost that for a couple of seasons. He weren't getting enough stats in terms of goals and assists. But this season, I know he's come off a bench quite a bit. He's had a few game starts, but he's having them impact moments again, isn't he?
So I sit front row in the corner, block 4. So in the second half, when we're attacking, Martinelli's in my face. He's running down, right? And I watch him. And in the last few seasons, he gets into position, but he just goes into a phone box. He just goes around into a whirlpool. He's just tracking back, bringing the ball backwards and forwards. Now he gets into that position and he goes, right? He doesn't question it. And he's getting the reward from that, from the direction, from being direct. And before, he would literally just drag. He's a great player. He can hold players off and he can draw players in and all that. But he literally, by that time, there'll be a pylon and he'd lose the ball, right? This year, he's definitely a bit quicker and he's more direct. And I think that is something that he's brought back into his game. He had it in the beginning, don't get me wrong. He was, he came on the scene, didn't he? And he was unbelievable. I mean, that Carabao Cup run 3 years ago, whatever, he was on fire in those games. That Leeds away game, Liverpool away, it was unbelievable, right? Almost unplayable. And we all thought, oh my God, look at this guy we've got, this Brazilian absolute wizard. And then it all just started to drift down. He kept to a level, but now he's going back up and he's going on a different path as well now. So let's just hope and pray he comes back.
Des just saying that was crazy.
Is there a Dalek in here?
Yeah, is that me or is that?
No, I think it might be David.
I think we've just lost David for a minute, so we'll move on. Des has just said that was crazy talk about selling him in the summer. I think he was on about Trossard there. It totally was now when you're looking at things. It is
because we need him.
If anyone can speak Dalek, can they translate what David was just saying?
This is what you get, mate. This is what you get with the old internet. Mr. Podcast.
I want someone with me because mine there's been playing up tonight.
Get him back.
There he is.
He's back with us now. Is he back? Yeah, he's back.
Sorry, down in Somerset, it's the old. It's not O2, it's Odo2. It doesn't work so bad down here.
We're just going to go through this stat. Should we keep another clean sheet in the Czech capital tomorrow? It'll be our 8th in a row in all competitions. Something the club has not achieved since way back in 1903.
That's mad.
Another record.
That's incredible. What a stat that is.
What a stat that is, eh? Gav asking when Jesus is back. I think just around Christmas time, which is usually the time Jesus does turn up.
You and Gav set that up, didn't you?
Yeah,
he's coming back with Santi Cazorla, I've heard. Santi Cazorla's on his way back.
Hey.
Oh. What a man he was, by the way. What a man that guy was.
What a great player.
Oh, Jesus. One of my favourite players over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. Let's see, we got anything else? No, we haven't. So, look, let's have a look ahead now to tomorrow night. I know we've touched on a little bits of it already. Going to go to you on this first, John. Obviously, Slavia Prague, 6:15 kickoff. I think it's an opportunity to play a few fringe players tomorrow night. I've got a feeling we might see Hincapié start tomorrow night. Can't see why not. I think there is good reason to believe that Dowman will play some part of that game tomorrow night. I think Norgard probably will be a definite tomorrow night as well. Are you expecting any other players that potentially could start that game?
Possible Mary, possibly. Might be a nice game to throw him in. I mean, obviously with Victor being out, I presume Marino will go up top. I mean, just guessing. Or it could be Trossard, but I don't know. Obviously, if Trossard goes in the middle, Maneri can then go on the wing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see Lewis Skelly get a little run out as well. I mean, Mosquera. I mean, you could quite happily, not being disrespectful, but I'm not going to lie. We should win fairly comfortably. I'll take it any 1-2-0 win to be fine. But yeah, I mean, I presume he'll probably start Saliba or Gabriel, but he could probably get away with resting them and play. You know, everyone's chomping at the bit to play. Everyone's coming in and doing their job. So I'm fairly confident whoever comes in will do the job. I mean, I presume Saka will play. I mean, I presume Rice, Norgard, Eze. Yeah, then one thing. I mean, Dowman could well. I mean, what David said, he's had his little squad thing today. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he started, to be honest. I mean, why not? Nice little game. You know, he did very well against Brighton last week, against more or less their first team. And, you know, they're probably better than Slavia Prague. So, yeah, why not give them a go?
It's an interesting one, isn't it, Andy? Like, I'm just thinking to myself, if this was a UEFA Cup game tomorrow night, you wouldn't question the second reserve team plan. You wouldn't question, like, all these players playing against Slavia Prague. But because it is the Champions League, I think the name just kind of makes it a little bit more, or we've got to play certain players. But let's be honest, this squad that we've got and squad set of players, we should get away with rotating tomorrow night, shouldn't we? And keeping some players fresh for the weekend.
I think if that's the way Arteta wants to go, then yeah, absolutely. I think the thing not to forget, though, is that anytime you go to Eastern Europe and you come up against these lads, Slavia Prague are never going to win the Champions League. So a game at home to Arsenal becomes their Champions League final. So you've got to be mindful of that as well. It'll be a part. Yeah. The crowd will be on singing and screaming and shouting and throwing flair. It'll just be an incredible atmosphere. It'll try and make it really partisan. So it might not be as easy as what we think. And it appears that Arteta's taken the competition very seriously, in as much as that he's not rotated massively in the games up to this point. I think ultimately, Champions League level, get the point on the board, keep the momentum going. There might be 2 or 3 changes, but I don't think he'll make as many as
the next game. We need to win this one. With Bayern Munich being next, we need to make sure we've got the points on the board.
Absolutely. So it's I don't think there'll be massive changes at all. I think keep the momentum going, and winning breeds winning. So let's just. I don't think there'll be many changes. Put it that way. I don't think there'll be as many as what we think.
Just a question for you, David. I think what Andrew means is Tim. I'm thinking what he means is Timber the best right back in Europe right
the world.
Now? Yeah. I mean, yeah. He knows the answer to that question because he's asked it. It's correct. He is. There's no, you raise a question like that because you know the answer, and the answer is yes, he is. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, regarding about tomorrow and the team. I think there will be some changes. I mean, I don't think we'll see the normal starting 11. Well, obviously, with Gyokeres not being in that team, it won't be, and it'll be slightly different, as I said. But I do think that Dowman will get, if he doesn't start the game, he'll start the second half or whatever. But, you've got to remember that, like, Eze hasn't played Champions League. He's now played a bit of Champions League. He needs to get the feel of it, It was like a couple of years, like when we came back to the Champions League after our little break, there was a lot of players in the Arsenal squad that had never played in the Champions League, and you could really tell that he took his time, to get that going. And we want to go deep into this competition, and we've got new players like Norgard, right? So he's gonna play tomorrow night. I'm certain of it. He'll come in for Mendy. There will be changes, and Arteta's not silly. He can see the injuries coming. He knows that we've got the crown jewels in our defence, and he knows that we've got backup. Well, then what you do is you take out your first line of defence against there, and you put in your stronger, and then we've got our good guy, our top A games for Sunderland, which will be a hard game, all right? So I can see there's going to be some changes. Or he'll do the other one is where he'll just start with everybody, go and do 11, bang a couple in, and then make loads of changes, right? But I still think that, we'll see. I mean, it's very weird, isn't it? A 5:45 kickoff. I don't like them. I find it's a bit odd. We're all at work. We're all got to get back. We're going to watch it somewhere or whatever. It's never good. It's never good. The guys out in Prague are having a fantastic time. I've been chatting to them. They're all over there. They're great. They're going to be, the game's over at, 9 o'clock over there, they'll all be in the pub by 9:30, 10 o'clock. They're having a great night. Do you know what I mean? It's not getting late. It's not coming out of somewhere like Madrid at midnight or whatever. So yeah, it's a good trip for them, and I hope they are having a great time.
Good man. I'm gonna pass the reins over to John Brooks for a minute because I've got a bit of a baby issue. So I'll leave
no worries.
cover this question off with Catherine about Declan Rice and tomorrow night.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, I'm a bit worried because my internet keeps playing up and all. Right, so I've been seeing that Andy. Catherine says, do you think Rice will be out for the game since he's a yellow card away from missing a Bayern game? I mean, I can't see it, especially with Zubimendi being suspended. I'll be very surprised if he would decide to rest him and have our 2 first-choice midfielders. I mean, it's a risk you take, Andy, isn't it, really? I mean, a risk worth taking. I don't think you can afford to leave Rice out at the moment. But it's one of those things. He could pick up a silly booking. It's just one of those things.
It is, yeah. And you've got to remember, Declan Rice is a really experienced player as well. So I think he'll trust in him to go out there and play. Going back to what I said before, it's vitally important we get the points on the board. You know, points on the board last game before the break. You know, sets us up really well for the Bayern game then. So, yeah. So I can't see it. I can't see many. Someone bleep Morse code there.
What was that?
Is that Liam trying to talk Morse code? Does anyone know what he's saying?
Is it Liam's evil twin somewhere?
Was that an SOS from Liam?
The shirt's moving on its own. It's getting a bit spooky.
It's a bit creepy.
Definitely got a haunted bar. But yeah, I'd be really surprised if Rice isn't in the starting 11. Put it that way. Yeah.
It's certainly haunted. He's got loads of spirits. Whee, go on.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
He's proper haunted down there. Here comes the ogre.
Sorry about it, ladies and gentlemen.
Here is our Casper himself. Here you are.
Multitasking as always. Yeah, so obviously Declan Rice is a booking, so that could be a risk for tomorrow night. I think that's actually an interesting question. I think the issue is, though, with obviously Gyokeres being out, I think kind of forces the hand, doesn't it, with Mikel Merino playing up top. So I'll be interested to see how that goes, but I actually think Declan Rice probably will start. But when you start thinking of it like that, you're thinking, if he gets a booking, that'd be a big yellow, wouldn't it, to take against Munich up the next game.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? Because my head's just been thinking now about that, and just thinking, you know, like during the game the other week when Mendy got his yellow, he got that yellow for just, I don't know if you remember, but he just said something to the ref very quickly. You think he swore at him, and the ref just turned and gave him the yellow, and he went, "Oh, whatever," and it was right in front of me, and I just thought that looks a bit suspect, you know. And because he was thinking, and it must be like, I think Arteta sits there and says, right, Zubi, you go out there and get that yellow tonight. Rice, you'll definitely be playing on the Wednesday, but we'll only play you half the game because we don't want you to get a yellow. Blah, we need you. You know, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes here. You know, I mean, for certain, we need Rice to play against Bayern Munich, and if he feels that there's going to be a reason to take him off and maybe shuffle stuff around. I don't know. Maybe Trossard goes up front. Maybe Mourinho and Norgard go in the middle. You know, maybe Namweri comes on. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I think there could be a lot of movement because of missing 2 of your key players. You're one in the middle and one up top. You're going to have to make changes, and you've got the threat of a yellow against Rice. So Arteta's going to be, you know, he's got his board out. He's got his little men. He'll be working out what everyone's going to be doing, and you know, and yeah, let's all wait for. What will it be? Will it be 4:30? Well, no, 3:30. No, 4:30. We'll get the team news, won't it?
4:30.
Yeah.
4:30. Yeah. So and we might know what's going on. I think it'll be when they go on the pitch. We'll figure out where everyone's playing. That'll be the thing. You got more code?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I just think it's I just think that's a bit of an interesting one. Do you know what I mean? Because I just think in the next game, it's got Declan Rice's name written all over it by Munich, isn't it? Like when you see the performances that he's produced against Real last year, Atletico Madrid, and I guess that was the other question I was going to say, David, to you earlier on in the show. is that Declan Rice, like for me, I honestly think he's the best centre midfielder in the world. Maybe I'm biased because I'm an Arsenal fan, and what I see week in, week out, I'm at the games. Do you know what I mean? But as I said, I think I said in the show last week or the week before, I think I might have said it. It was on one show that this is the guy who took Real Madrid apart, not just at the Emirates, but went to the Bernabeu as well and produced that massive display. Like, he's someone who could be up for the Ballon d'Or if he continues the way he's playing.
I think you start with Rice, the man, and he is an incredibly nice gentleman guy, right? He's a real solid bloke. And you can tell that, and he's really likable. And he's come to us from West Ham, and he left West Ham on without any bad words. He came over, there's something to be said about the man coming over, not kicking up a fuss. The fans, they didn't want him to leave, but they knew he was going to leave. He came into Arsenal, and he's just gone on, excelled all the time. And I mean, he could be a captain of our club easily, right? I think he might be England's captain before we know it, and I don't think he'll be captain of both. But he is unbelievable in that position. I can't think. I'm trying to go back to like comparing him to other Arsenal greats or either other footballers in the recent years. Rice is really starting to stand out above all of them. But again, we said it already. All these players, we need silverware. That's it. That's the bit.
But that's the big piece, isn't it? Now for me, like to keep the likes of Saliba, even a Declan Rice in this world. Like, why would Real Madrid not come in for someone like Declan Rice? Do you know what I mean? Why would they not want him in their centre midfield? Because actually, I could see, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, why would they not want a Declan Rice in their midfield? And this is the time now, isn't it? With the players that we've got, with the quality we've got, with the depth we've got, to go there, get the trophies in the cabinet. Do you know what I mean? Because let's be honest. And I always say this, like when you look at the players like Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Perez, and all that, if they were on a barren spell like we have over the last, especially last 5 years, would they potentially stay at that point? Probably not, because the biggest clubs in the world would have been coming in from and nabbing them. But what kept them at Arsenal was the winning of the trophies, weren't it? The repetitive winning of the trophies. And we are so close to that crust now.
Just one thing to add to that. Everything you said is right, but they also stayed because of one man. That was Arsene Wenger, right? So you've got to remember. And a lot of these players are coming to Arsenal now because of two men. One of them is Arsene Wenger, and the other one is Thierry Henry, because they all grew up watching Thierry Henry, and they all grew up watching Wenger, and they got that history. And these are that age of these guys that are coming. And when these guys get interviewed, who when they get interviewed, who do they say is their heroes? Arsene Wenger, Thierry Henry, right? It's that legacy from those years that still holds through, right? And that is something really important. And again, we're with Arteta. He won a trophy in his first season. We're hoping and praying for more to come this season. But the players are all building around that player, around that manager, around Arteta, because he's got something special. He's got something special, and they can all see it. And they look at everything else that's going on in other teams and with other managers around the world. And Arteta is a very, very strong, safe bet manager that is getting the best out of players. And all footballers want to do is get better, right? And get paid well, and then win things, obviously. But you can only win 4 things in any play. Well, unless you add the World Cup, it goes down to Arteta and Wenger, and
it's quite interesting when we do win league titles as well. Like, it seems like every league title we win, there's a special meaning to every league title. So when I look at 1989, I think of the Anfield 89. When I look at 1991, 18 goals conceded in the whole season. 1998, the double season. 2002, the double season. 2004, the invincible season. And you look at the grounds that we've gone and won them games on. Like, we do things a special way as well, don't we? It seems like when we do bring a title home, there's always something behind it.
Yeah, no, I honestly, and that page hasn't been written yet. That page has not been written. We just unlucky things. That page hasn't been written yet, and we don't know where it's going to come. But what I will say is, that there's this great song that we all sing about winning the league at very many grounds around the country. Well, I believe there's one club and one ground that we haven't won the league at yet. I think it's April the 13th next year. So let's see what happens then, eh? So
Man City, is it?
Yeah.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Oh, that would be lovely. We'll keep that one in the ice scope. We'll definitely keep that one in the ice scope. Got a couple of questions here. I'm going to go to this one first, Andy. Des saying, are we unlucky with injuries, or is there some underlying issues with the medical department? Because all what I do here this year is like small muscle injuries still. Is it unlucky, or do we think there's something more in depth about it?
I can't for a minute think there's anything other than being really unlucky. If you think of Arteta and what he's done in the way that he's shaped, not like the playing side of things, you know full well that he's that driven, and he'll have a phenomenal medical department there. They'll be covering everything. There was an interview with Arteta last week or the week before, and he was talking about certain players not having enough sleep, or they have 2 hours not enough. They could be up with the babies. They're tracking everything. So I can't for a minute think it's the medical staff. If you imagine you've got this team now with the squad that we've got, you can imagine what the intensity is like in training, because you've got to keep yourself in the window to the manager. So the levels in training will just be going through the roof. The more the win, the better the training becomes, the better we become, because them players are pushing the first team players. And I can't for a minute think that it's anything other than just bloody unlucky, to be honest.
And one for you, John. Who in this current Arsenal squad would get into the Invincible squad? Who would get into the Invincible team out of this squad?
I would say Timber will get in there ahead of Lauren.
Good shout.
Let's play that. Hang on. Yes, on my internet's very up and down, so I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sadly, we can, yeah.
Yeah, I would say Timber. Yeah. I mean, you could argue Raya over Lehmann, possibly. Saka over Ljungberg, possibly. You know, Declan Rice, possibly over Silva.
Saka
yeah, no, probably not. No, but Ljungberg's won trophies, so scored in cup finals, won finals. That's the thing. I mean, Saka is amazing, but until he wins me a league trophy, he's not Freddie Ljungberg. So, I mean, Rice could play alongside Vieira, couldn't he? That'd be very lovely. I mean, Saliba and Gabriel could be in there, let's be honest. Yeah.
There's a question for you, Liam.
Vieira.
Rice or Vieira?
Rice or Vieira, Patrick Vieira.
Easy. Easy.
Vieira and Rice. I'm not answering that. Vieira and Rice. Sorry, Vieira and Rice.
Okay.
All day long. I can't answer that.
So you bottled it?
What I would say.
Well, I bottled it before. I bottled it before, though, because I was starting to talk about it, and I could hear.
All day long.
Talking about it, and I thought.
Patrick Vieira, all day long.
I'd have. Jesus Christ. No, I'm having Vieira and Rice. I bottled it, mate. I bottled it. Vieira and Rice in that team, 100%. Do you know what? You could set up so many different formations, couldn't you? You could have Gilberto, Vieira and Rice.
Absolutely.
You could do whatever you wanted.
Absolutely.
If I was sitting there saying, if I had a team, and I said, like, if I looked across the two squads right now, I'd probably go for I'd still go for Lehmann in goal because he's done it. Do you know what I mean? And like that season, he was unbelievable. Timber definitely right back over Lauren. I just think he's got more to his game. Ashley Cole, obviously left back still. Sol Campbell. I'm gonna have to go Gabriel. Sorry, Sol Campbell and Gabriel as the centre backs. I thought that's hard, but I just think left-handed side. I think for me, Gabriel is just unbelievable now. Like
he's a beast.
In the first couple of seasons, I had little faults with Gabriel, but now he's ironed them all out. He's become a leader in that team. And I actually think, when he's missing, it's more, you can see it more than when Saliba's missing now as such, do you know what I mean? Because of that leadership component he brings. And he's just an animal, isn't he? He's a winner, mate. He's a winner who sadly not won anything yet because what I will say is I honestly believe if he was fit for that semi-final against Paris Saint-Germain, I think that could have been a different result and a different outcome. That's how highly I rate him. Ljungberg, I think still, just because of what he's done. Perez obviously on the left. I'm going to go Vieira and Rice and Bergkamp and Omri.
Simple, isn't it?
I think
Difficult to argue.
I think that.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the thing is, look, the point is, it's not. Let's have this conversation on the first of June, right?
Yep.
And see where we're at, right? Because I think this conversation is an amazing conversation, and when we do the show, I'd love to be involved in it. But let's get Big Ears and the silverware and whatever we're going to have, and see, if we're lucky enough to get something, and then have the conversation, because you can't have the conversation until it's done. It's like you can't figure out who the murderer is until the murder's happened. So so we've got to there's no who done it yet, because we don't know what's happened. So
there we go.
Oh, you're back.
No, you're talking, mate. It'd be interesting, though, won't it?
It'd be really interesting. Because you look
how
at
that how that could change the whole complexity.
Totally, because and also you compare then the Champions League, then you compare the league, and you look at the other opposition. It's a fascinating how football has changed over those 20 years. And it's amazing, and it really has. And just to answer that question earlier about the injuries, right? Absolutely agree with everything you're saying, Andy. But also just to say, footballers play so much more football now as well, continually, right? And it's getting crazy. And I know a lot of people have talked about it, but nothing's being done about it. I mean, these fixtures over Christmas for lots of players. Look, if you're in the competitions, you've got to, that's the luxury of being in these competitions. But, these are just normal men. They're not, but bar Haaland, who's obviously a Terminator, these are normal human beings, right? And, and that's what happens. And people get what I did hear from a very good friend of mine, Adam, who I think might be listening tonight. So Adam, big shout out you in Dubai. He was saying that he'd heard that the difference this year is that if players during games start to feel they get niggles, they get taken off straight away. And I think we've seen that in recent games where players were like suddenly, oh, he's off. It's like, turn him over. Let's get him off, right? He's got a niggle. Let's take him off. And we bring someone else on who's also amazing, all right? And I think that's what's happening. But again, we are chasing it because some of these injuries have been so unlucky because they've been big injuries, like Jesus's and Havertz's and whatever. So, those ones weaken the squad. But again, we were lucky enough because we bought so well in the summer. If we hadn't have bought so well in the summer, there's no way we'd be sitting here having these amazing conversations, and fair play to the board for doing that, having the investment and seeing that we suffered so much last year through the injuries, because we got so close there last year on both fronts, which is amazing. So hopefully we can go deeper into both of them this year.
Yeah, no, definitely. Obviously, going deeper into every competition is obviously an expectation this year, isn't it? Obviously, firstly, I'm saying good evening to Hilsey. He's in Prague at the moment, which we would not expect anything but. Good evening, legend, mate. Hope you're enjoying it, and hopefully they'll get us a big 3 points.
Evening, Hilsey.
Evening.
Just back to you, Andy, on obviously some of that. Obviously, at present, we look at this team, don't we? And we look at obviously what they can be capable of, and we're looking at obviously the different tournaments that we can kind of play in. So obviously, we now know that Crystal Palace, for example, League Cup game's been moved to the 23rd December, which is going to be 2 days after the Everton game away at Goodison Park. That's going to show a true test in terms of our squad. I actually think that Palace could potentially be a little bit screwed over with that, because the size of their squad to the size of our squad, and they've got an additional game to play within that week. I think they've got a home game in the Conference League on a Thursday. But this is where the squad depth now is going to be shown, isn't it? This is the kind of these games that come thick and fast, like the League Cups, because I know we discussed before, for me, winning the League Cup this year, I think it's quite a big thing, because I think it takes a rod off our back if we win that League Cup in February, and it gives the players a bit of a taste of success. They picked up a trophy at that point, and the confidence that can bring going into that final stretch could be invaluable. Are you on the same kind of spectrum at the moment that League Cup could, from you, is a big tournament to win?
Am I on the spectrum? Yeah.
Yeah. You're on that
I'm on that spectrum. No, I think it's going to be interesting actually to see how Arteta goes about that, because even the other night there when we got the win, it was a much changed team. So I think he's definitely thinking lesser of that particular cup. However, it's the quarter-final now. And as you quite rightly say, you know, if you can get that trophy, which isn't it the end of February normally?
Yeah.
I think it's March this year. I think it's March.
Is it March?
Is it March?
But you can imagine what the lift that'll give not only the players, but the supporters as well. That feeling of going there, trying to get some success, hopefully lift that cup. And it spills into the next game then. And hopefully the juggernaut just rolls on. I think that's the plan. But it'll be interesting because this whole fixture thing is an absolute farce. And it's the players you feel for, and also the fans having to put money in their pockets, you know, so much just before Christmas, and you know, so tight to Christmas. It's just a load. It's crap. Let's be honest. It's absolute rubbish, and it's all for TV, right? It's all for us guys sat at home watching these matches on TV.
Well, I think.
Actually,
go on.
Sorry,
I was going to say, I agree with you. And I think what's happened here as well is so that game's going to be on ITV and it's on the 23rd. So they're slotting it nicely into their Christmas. They're thinking, we've got Arsenal, you know, top team against Palace, knockout competition at the Emirates, 23rd. People will have travelled to see their families. They'll be getting ready for Christmas, you know, that sort of thing. So it's a win-win for them. But obviously for Arsenal players and Palace players in London and for Gooners outside London, and Palace players outside, fans outside London, they've got to get into London. You know, we don't know what the train's going to be like. They're screwed at most of the times on the tubes. Is there going to be a tube strike or something or other? You know, they're going to be in half and half, 23rd of December. You know, it's just going to be a nightmare. What I will say to everybody watching at home or whatever, if you've got a silver or a red membership, this is a game to go to because there are going to be a lot of tickets available. There'll be a lot of single tickets that people will be short of money. They'll be with families. You know, they'll be going, you can't go to the game on the 23rd and come home late on the 24th, you know, and whatever. It'll be one of those games where there's going to be a lot. So if you can get the determination and the money and you've got the chance, then I think it could be really good for a lot of Arsenal fans that don't normally get a chance to go to a big game, which it will be, to get there. And let's hope that if they do, they bring that noise and they bring that atmosphere because we're going to need it in that game. You know, I used to love all the Boxing Day games. We haven't got one of those this year. So, you know, this is basically the Christmas fixture. You know, but again, I think it's very tight on Palace as well because, you know, they're also in the European competition. And but hey, that's the way it is. If you want to be up there, you've got to play the games, haven't you?
Do you want me to roll down memory lane quickly? Favourite ever League Cup quarter-final game? Arsenal-Newcastle.
Where?
2-0. Was it Ian Wright double that day?
Yeah.
I love that. I don't know why. I always get one of them games that always stick in my memory. That
I've got something over here actually. Let me grab it. I've got.
It's because we beat the Geordies. That's the best thing.
It was all kicking off on the sidelines that day as well.
Yeah,
Wasn't it?
was,
so here I've got a double. I think it's like three cups of tea, and it's the Cup Winners' Cup. It's the you've got the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. 1993, Arsenal 2, Sheffield 1 in both games when we won the cup double. And I found this the other day, and I've been drinking tea out of it. And
it looks like it hasn't been clean since '93 as well. Looking at the inside of it,
it's pretty clean. But
fantastic.
That was great, wasn't it? That was a weird one in '93 when at the old Wembley as well. Andy Linnigan, bang, up he goes.
Oh, I see that goal today on X. Funnily enough,
no,
it come up on X.
Yeah, I've seen it actually.
Yeah. No, it was great, and of course that was a replay as well, which of course they don't do anymore. You know, those days have gone, haven't they? No more replays. I mean, they're stopping replays everywhere. You know, there's no extra times. It's just, it's bizarre. It's just
yeah, I get why they do it in the league. I get why they do it in the League Cup because like amount of games, but I don't know. It never sits well with me going straight into a penalty shootout for 90 minutes.
Yeah,
but I think that's because how we've been cultured over the years.
But the FA Cup, you know, it's about the little minnow getting a draw and then taking them back to, you know, going over to Old Trafford or the Emirates or whatever, you know, and getting that big payday or bringing them back to a little ground and, you know, building an extra stand for the day and, you know, and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's just, I mean, remember we played Sutton United on the AstroTurf a few years back?
Yeah.
I mean, what a game that was. I mean, that was just unbelievable atmosphere. I was lucky enough to be there. It was crazy, you know, it was brilliant. That's the magic of the cup, you know.
My non-league club, that is, David.
All right.
Yeah, so yeah, when I was a kid, you know, because it's in a park,
Yeah.
isn't it? And there's, like, you got a little park with slides. I used to put my head over the slide and watch the games over there back in my really young days. But no, like for me, that was like a dream game. Sutton playing Arsenal, but the fallout of that was actually Arsenal paid Sutton quite a bit of money to sort out certain stuff, the changing rooms, all that.
Absolutely, a very close friend of mine worked with Sutton, and they gave them lots of money to put an extension or something or other and sort the showers out, give them whatever. And I'm missing out here. I haven't got a baby. I haven't got a dog. It's like I need to find something. I could go and get a chicken, maybe. I've got chickens down in the back garden. I could probably bring one of those in next time.
You don't need it, mate. You live the peaceful life there, mate. I'm telling you. Hillsy just saying we've got all the ingredients this season. We are so close. We need to go out for all trophies. A trip to Wembley or even Budapest would do. Oh, could you imagine Budapest at the end of May, start of June?
Unbelievable.
Right. It would be absolutely incredible, weren't it? Let's see what else is in the chat. Jason's in, evening just in from playing 30. Hope not missed much because you missed loads, mate. Margaret saying my first ever match to replay in the FA Cup final. That ain't a bad one to start supporting Arsenal, is it?
Well done.
And Des saying best atmosphere I was at was in 1988 League Cup semi-final. The second leg 3-1 against Everton at the Highbury. 56,000 in the ground that night. What a night on the North Bank.
That's a big
Sorry, chaps.
That tweet, that's like the beginning of a movie, isn't it? I mean, well set out. You can literally take yourself there. 1988, you know, 56,000 in Highbury. Wow, amazing.
Absolutely incredible.
Can I just say
so
then,
let's quickly go.
Can I just say then on that, I'm pretty sure that I'll have cleaned the changing rooms afterwards. It was always our job.
I was going to say 1988, mate. You'd have been right lingering around.
That was middle year was that's when I signed my professional forms, but I was an apprentice. But after the matches, we had to wait for the first teams to leave, and then we had to clean the changing rooms down before we could go home. So in '88, them changing rooms would have been spotless, them beautiful heated marble floors.
Especially if Andy cleaned.
Exactly, Mr. Mop. Yeah.
Mate,
You got Mop on your shirt.
On my phone now, Mr. Mop. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, this is a quickly going to Sunderland before we end the show tonight. Obviously, Sunderland Saturday R5. And what is the result? Is it 1-1 still?
1-1, I think. At the
Yeah,
still
1-1. Yeah, a few minutes to go.
So yeah, 1-0. It's not. I think, as you said in the middle at the start of the show, I'm going to go to you on his first, Andy. Like, obviously, you living up there, you'll know exactly what a game's like in Sunderland. On a Saturday night, 5:30, a lot of drunk. I can imagine it being a really good atmosphere up there. This is probably their biggest game at home, isn't it, since they've come back up? Yeah. And it's going to be a massive occasion for them. And we need to be on it, don't we, in that game to obviously keep up with a team that's doing really well at the moment in terms of their start of their season. Like, if they get a late goal, they'll end up going second again. And absolutely incredible when you think about it. They come up through the playoffs. They've obviously brought really, really well. They brought Granit Xhaka in, and I still don't know how they brought him in, but they brought him in.
Signing at the summer, that.
That for me, that is a signing in the summer. Like, not only have you brought him a top quality player, but you brought in a leader, a captain. Do you know what I mean? Someone who puts their heart on their sleeve. We know what he was all about. Look, there was obviously stuff in his early days, which I still say Unai Emery threw him under the bus, but Granit Xhaka was every bit of that leader in that Arsenal dressing room over them 5 years, and he's going to be well up for it, isn't he?
Oh yeah. I used to absolutely love Granit Xhaka. Loved him. So it'll be a really strange experience seeing him wearing them red and white stripes with the Mackhams on Saturday. But you know, they have done exceptionally well. And we'll have to be right in our game again to get through it. The atmosphere will be raucous. It'll be whipped up into a frenzy. When Sunderland gets going, The noise that they can create is incredible, but that's where our experienced players need to come to the fore. That's where you're looking at your Declan Rices, your Gabriels. They played all around the world. They played in massive stadiums. They played in huge atmospheres. So that won't faze them. It's just about going there now as that collective group and just go and get the job done, move on to the next.
And obviously, David, you went up to Newcastle only just over a month ago. It's going to be a different kind of game, isn't it? Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, look, that Newcastle game, that was, we hadn't got good results up there, have we? In the Newcastle, we'd had that voodoo on us. We'd been up there, we hadn't scored, we lost games. It really affected our chances for the title over the last couple of years. And we went there and we went one down, and everyone was looking around thinking, but the belief in the team and the belief in the stands, I've never heard the Arsenal fans just keep continually supporting their team when we were 1-0 down. And in the end, yes, Newcastle is a very loud stadium, but they shut up. And I think that's what we've got to do on Saturday. We've got to go there, soak it all up, play our game. If half an hour's gone and they haven't got any shots or anything near us because we have got this invincibility cloak around us, which the stats say we have, we've got to still do it again on Saturday. But you'll see that belief come from our team. And again, it's all about a good result tomorrow, really keeping high up in that Champions League standings, and then going into Saturday, and then knowing that the international break's coming after that. So yeah, I'm hoping for a very positive Arsenal performance on Saturday, and I'm hoping for a few rested players tomorrow. So we've got a bit of freshness in there, because we're going to need the freshness come Saturday. Can't have any excuses, because it is going to be. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, it's only Sunderland." Look where they are in the league. They're the same points as Liverpool, 1 point behind City. They're talking the talk.
Yeah, it's insane.
They're talking
it's
the talk.
Insane. Their stuff.
You've got to show them absolute respect, and you're playing at their house. So you go to their house, you show them complete respect, but you smash every window and make a right mess and win the game. That's
a normal night in Sunderland, David.
Exactly. I was literally just giving you that. I literally just passing it up there to you.
There you are. You set him up. I'll finish.
Yeah, exactly.
Never know, Andy. You might have Borough up there next year as well.
Yeah. I'm not as optimistic about that one at the moment, but I'd love it to happen, but I can't see it. But the Premiership is definitely better with the three northern teams in it.
Yeah, it'd be good. It would be good for the area, wouldn't it, to get all three of them back up
massive.
there.
Yeah, massive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Newcastle away is the first away game that I look at in the fixture list. When is it? Because it's the best place to go to. I mean, it's absolutely wonderful up there. I love it. I think it's just great. And yeah, I mean, I'm still thinking about Sunderland on Saturday. I might get my ass up there. I'll see how it is.
Yeah, I want to see you up there, mate. I want to see you get up there. Get up there. Just going to go back to you, Andy, obviously on that game. As David said, obviously got the international break straight after. We go and win that game. That is the complete international break to international break that we'd have like literally won every game. Obviously, Bayern would beat France tomorrow night, but within the Premier League, that'd be an incredible effort, won't it? In terms of obviously how we've gone. I think mentally how we've gone and approached. Obviously, after this international break, we had a tricky game at Fulham, which we knew was a bit of a banana skin over the years. Obviously, Crystal Palace has always been a bit of a banana skin as well in seasons gone by. We've ticked them all them boxes off again, haven't we?
Oh, yeah. And the added bonus as well is if we can go up to Sunderland, get the 3 points, you can relax into the international break. And also, don't forget on Sunday, City, Liverpool, so someone's dropping points. So it's just massive. The best thing for all of this to happen is what happened at the weekend just gone. Get the result. You can sit back, watch everybody else scramble around trying to keep up. And ultimately, one of them two big boys are going to drop points at the weekend. So that'll be more distance between us and them. So as we keep saying, every time a game comes up, it's just massive. But you can see within the squad and within the players, they all know that now. There's a different feel about the players at the moment. So I'd like to think we can go up to the Mackhams and do them in their own backyard and go into the break, hopefully ready to come out of it flying with a few people back.
Yeah, can I just also sound that point that if you remember, I mean, in the past few years when Wenger was around and at the beginning of Arteta's reign, when people used to ask them, what did you think of the result yesterday when Liverpool drew or lost or whatever? Normally it would be, I don't watch the other teams. I'm just thinking about ourselves, right? We've got to do that. I noticed Arteta the other day, he actually started to mention about what was going on with the other teams. Like, we need to do well because Liverpool didn't get a win or there was a draw or whatever, right? And the players, exactly, they're not being it's not being hidden from them. They know they're 6 points clear. They know City are playing Liverpool. They know that if they can win on Saturday, it puts a bit of breathing space. It's all out there, It's not. This is being treated as a control by Arteta to keep that pressure up within the squad. To show how much is there at stake and how we need to keep winning. And again, guys, if we just keep winning, then that's it. As Pep says, people say, do you think Arsenal are gonna, are you gonna catch them up? He went, I'm just waiting for them to concede a goal. Because
true though,
isn't it? He's looking at the stats at home. He must be going, what's going on? Do you mean is no one actually shot at them yet? No one shot at them in 3 games. How can that be? Do you know what I mean? And as for managers that live in football, that continually, this is like we're in this golden era at the moment, and we should accept it. But complacency is the worst thing. We need to focus on it, and we need to crack on, basically.
Just one other player I haven't really mentioned. It cracks me every time I see it, mate. One player I haven't mentioned tonight, but I feel like these kind of games now that he's gonna have the big moments, and he had the big moment against Crystal Palace. Eze, I know people are saying I think some people are thinking that maybe they expect a little bit more out of him in games. I think he's learning the system. As I keep saying to people, he's probably not used to playing against really deep low blocks. You know what I mean? People don't set up that way against Crystal Palace. And I thought it was really interesting yesterday how Bournemouth approached Man City. Bournemouth in never in a million years will come to the Emirates and play like that. You're literally letting Haaland have one-on-ones. That was pretty naive in my opinion. But this guy, he's capable of the big moments, isn't he? And I think he'll end up on the left once Odegaard gets back fit. What's your kind of thoughts on him so far, David, in terms of how he's settled in?
Well, I got a lot of stick from a lot of my friends because he was the one person that I wanted to buy this summer.
Yeah.
I mean, he was number one. I mean, after the FA Cup final and the way Palace ended, I could just see it being magical. The boy coming home, so much wanting to play for Arsenal again. And I was hoping for his own heart that he would get that chance to come. And I think he's got the capabilities over the next, couple of seasons to become an absolute great. We've seen Rice go and build, and to come here, we talk about Rice, about him being a monster and his mentality and everything. Eze's got all of that. He's got the ability to become a Perez or whatever. He's got the ability to really take it to that next level. And it's going to be a fantastic journey to watch. And I love him. I absolutely love him. I love his attitude. I love his swagger. I think he's great. He's already close friends with all the England boys. It was just a no-brainer. And also, and it was all because Havertz got injured. I mean, and it just suddenly they went, oh, right, well, okay, get Eze. Let's just, I don't know. I mean, I think it was like a last bit of a shopping list, and he was probably on the list or whatever, but it was the way it happened so quickly and it was so reactionary. And I thought we were going to miss out on him. And God, I haven't been that happy about signing a player for quite a few years. I'm ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic about it.
Didn't go to you on that, Andy, because obviously me and you were big advocates all summer on it, wasn't we? I feel, and like you said, David, I feel that I know it was a good goal against Palace and all that, but obviously it wasn't the moment. I think he needs that moment, doesn't he? like Declan Rice had against Manchester United a couple of seasons ago when he scored that 95th minute goal. I feel that probably Eze will need that moment goal.
Spurs, it's coming. I can see it already. I think he's gonna. I think it's the Spurs game. There you go. I said it. It's Spurs game. He's gonna just do it. That's it. It's you know, these are when history things happen. We talk about these special things, and it's on the cards, isn't it? I mean, Eze's gonna do something amazing against Spurs. And the thing is, he knows that, and he knows how important that game is to us. He knows that he can write his name on that stone with that moment, you know. And it's like Bergkamp did it when he, you know, I was talking about that goal earlier. Bergkamp did it for Wenger. I think Eze will do it against Spurs in that game.
We all know what song's going to go on after that game, then, don't we?
Yeah.
I might do a bit of dancing again if I'm lucky.
What have you thought so far, Andy, on Eze?
Yeah, a little bit underwhelming. There's been little flashes of brilliance. Been a bit sloppy at times as well. But I think it's worth remembering when Bergkamp came. I know it took him a while to get his first goal, but it took him a while to settle as well. And
yeah,
I think I think we all expected Eze just to come in, hit the ground running, be a worldie immediately, and it's just not quite happened for him. Palace goal will have done him the world of good, but we still need to see more of him. We brought him in for a reason, you know, to make that little bit of difference in them key moments. And I think the more that he plays, the more he gets used to the system, he'll be absolutely fine. His ability is incredible.
It must have been a bit of a bummer for him, though, Andy. Like, his first goal at the Emirates was against Crystal Palace, so he couldn't celebrate the goal either, could he? He was showing them the utmost respect, which you knew he would do. But it must have been a little bit of a hard moment for him as well, isn't it? Because like first goal, you want to be able to connect with the fans and such, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do. But I think that the beauty is that the fans are all aware of the situation as well. So. You know, he was quite respectful with the Palace fans, didn't celebrate and what have you, but the Arsenal fans knew the reason why. So, yeah, maybe his big moments to come, and, you know, as David said, it might well be against Tottenham. I hope it's earlier. I hope it's a bit sooner. And, oh, my God, he's back.
You just got to fill the results.
He completely booted me out. That's I don't know what happened. It just completely collapsed.
Are you laying on the floor with a plate behind your head?
Yeah, I'm on the sofa now. I'm on the sofa. Yeah, I'm about to come out of the conservatory and move.
Sit up, John.
Looks like
the sofa's sitting there, so I've had enough. Yeah.
I'm not going to. Well, we're going to do the results, and then sadly, John, we're going to leave.
That's all right.
You come back, mate, but obviously.
In fairness, his input in the last 20 minutes has been better than what it has been anyway.
Mate, it looks like a toilet fucking bowl, doesn't it?
I know.
That's our mirror behind. I'm in the old living room.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, so look, we do have predictions for both games. So, firstly, the Slavia Prague. I'll start with you, Andy. What are you going to go for tomorrow night?
I don't think it'll be as easy as people say. I think it'll be 2-0. 0-2.
Cool. David?
Yeah. 3-0.
And yourself, John?
Yeah, I'll go 3-0.
I'm going to go... I don't know what I'm going to go for. I'm going to go 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0, I think. Get the job done and get the players off. I think will be the port of the night, won't it? I think the earlier we get the game done, the earlier Mikel can start resting certain players and bringing players on. So that's hopefully get that done and dusted early on. And then we go up to Sunderland Saturday. I'll kick off with Sunderland Saturday. I think it's a tricky. I'm going to go. Do you know what? I think we might concede. I'm going to go. We're going to get a 2-1 Arsenal.
Well, we'll take it. Let's be honest.
I'll take anything.
Yeah.
Take it all day long.
Any win will do.
2-1. I agree with you completely.
Well, I disagree with the pair of you. I think we're going to go there and batter the Mackhams, and I think we're going to win 4-0.
Oh, come on, Andy. Love that.
Have a bit of that.
Love it.
I've never heard Andy go that far in.
That's the one he made it. That's a crazy predictions. Go on.
And what's your prediction, John?
I was just going to go 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'm already boring that.
Mate, I'll take that all day long.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely.
A shitty set piece goal.
Set piece again.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, exactly. get a real 89th minute winner.
That'll do.
That'd be lovely, wouldn't it?
Max Diamond free kick.
Oh, could you imagine big old Max?
Oh.
Oh, we're all dreaming. We're all dreaming. Obviously,
Absolutely.
look. Firstly, thank you very much. Obviously, Chats for jumping on again. Andy, thank you very much.
No problem at all. Another great night on here, and thank you again to everybody else that's been asking questions, writing in. It does mean the world to us anyway. So yeah, look forward to seeing you next week.
Definitely. David, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Absolute pleasure once again. You're always welcome.
Absolute privilege, gentlemen. I've really enjoyed it. It's one of my, I'm new to this game, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. And thank you very much for inviting me, and thank you for people writing stuff in. And on we go. On we go.
Go and clean your teacup.
I will do straight away. Don't worry.
And
I'll
John,
probably clean it and break it, but I'm trying not to.
And John, it was good showing your face for a little while.
Yeah, I thought I'd pop on every now and then, do a little discipline act, a bit like Tottenham's title charge. But there you go.
What title charge?
Yeah, they are dog shit. Let's get that in there. Yeah. No, thank you for having me on. Thank you for everyone else for coming on.
No,
and
definitely not. No, definitely. No, obviously, thank you everyone for jumping on again. As I said, guys, you guys have obviously a major input in our shows with all your questions, answers, and all the content in the chat. So thank you very much. Yeah, I've really enjoyed the show tonight. It's been brilliant, and I'm really happy in terms of obviously the content that we're obviously providing you guys, but also obviously the caliber of people that obviously deliver it as well. So thank you very much for my three chaps beside me tonight. But yeah, look, we go on to tomorrow. We go on to Saturday. Can we surely go 2 more games without conceding? Well, they got to get a shot in first, didn't they? Good night.
Good night.